Hey guys, China Reviews here, and today we'll be looking at some LED strips, just like this ones. These are the typical LED strips that you will get from any store from China, like Banggood or AliExpress, any store like that. They're a little bit cheaper than the one you get on Amazon or from IKEA. I think these cost about $5 and they are 5 meters as well. That makes about 1 meter per dollar, so it's a very cheap price. I got, this is how they look like. I got the warm white. This gives off, I don't remember how many Kelvin it is, but it is a warm white kind of color. And you have the cold white kind of color, which is daylight color. This is more like the tungsten light that one gives off. Also have one that's waterproof. And you know it's waterproof by looking at the silicone layer that's on top of it, of the LED strip. This one is supposed to handle water very good, while this one is not supposed to be able to withstand water, at least not for a long time. So the main difference between these ones and the ones that you get on IKEA is that there is no power plug that you can directly plug into the wall. So you have to use something that looks like a phone charger, just like this. Let's put these aside for a moment. So you use something like this. It's a charger or power adapter, and it should be 12 volts, at least if your LED strips are 12 volts. So what you can do is either strip the wires and connect them to the LED strip, or you could buy a plug that matches this one, or more like a socket, and put it right onto the LED strip and connect it that way. And in that way you could plug it out again and take it in as much as you want, instead of soldering it to the LED strip permanently. The other option is this kind of power supply. I think this one is mainly designed to be used for LED strips, and instead of soldering you have some screws here. So you could take your mains power, which is 240 volts, at least here in Europe or in Norway, and plug it directly into the screws. You just open the screw, put the stripped wires in, and then you tie the screw down again. And then you connect the LED strip the same way, so no soldering involved, and you will have light immediately. We are going to be looking at these three LED strips and how they hold up and how they look. I have my power supply right next to me here, with the positive and the negative wire. Both are green, so it could be a little bit tricky for you guys to see, but this one should be positive. Oh, let's see if we can get this crocodile connector on, and this one should be negative. And it powers on, and here you can see the warm white kind of light. I actually imagined that it would be even warmer and maybe a little bit more yellow, but it's a quite nice light. It doesn't shine too strongly. I think if you put many LED strips next to each other, it will be a stronger kind of light. And you can kind of feel they get a little bit warm. Oh, I shorted out there, but they don't get really warm. So I think you could probably get away with connecting these on top of cardboard or wood directly, but not sure that's recommended in case of a short or something like that. What you see here is that they're divided in 3 parts. So these ones are actually connected in parallel, while internally they're connected in series. So for every joint you can use a scissor or whatever, and you could just cut it. Now this one is not powered anymore, while this one is. So what we're going to be doing is testing how this one holds up in water. This is the non-waterproof LED strip, and we're gonna see how it handles regular water, which we have here. We have water, or let's do like this so you can read it like there. And then we put it, oh, let's make sure that it doesn't short out in the end here. Oh, a little tricky that one is. So these crocodiles are just jumping up the wire. Not the best way to connect it, but it should do the trick if I could just get it to sit. Maybe this one is the problem. Okay, there we go. So if I just take the rubber wrap around them, that should prevent them from shorting each other out. And yeah, so this is why you won't be using crocodile connectors to power your LED strips, but it's a good way to test things. So put them inside the water, and you can see they're still powered. That is interesting. So this is regular water. We also have some salt water. Maybe it's better if I do like this. So we have some salt water, and then we have something else. You could guess what the something else is in the comments if you would like to. I will not tell you, but I'll tell it in the next video. So this warm white LED strip seems to be doing pretty fine in the water. Let's see how it holds up in the salt water. So I'm not really sure how this will handle the salt water. I would think that it would probably short out faster because of the conductivity of the salt. But it seems to be doing pretty much alright. Let me move my bench supply a little bit closer. Like this. And then we can try to submerge it entirely. So surprisingly, it's holding up. You could see some bubbles there. I guess that's electrolysis or something like that's happening to the water because of the salt. But yeah, it doesn't seem to take any permanent damage. At least not yet. I'm not sure how long it would hold up there. Okay, that's quite impressive. It's not supposed to be waterproof. And then we have something else. It handles it quite nicely, it seems. Let's see if we drop a little match. So this one is burning. Does it handle fire very well? Well, it burns. Definitely burns. Look, it's still lighting. It's quite impressive actually. Okay, there it went out. Well, hopefully you won't be burning your LED strip this much. That's not what they are designed for. Luckily. Oh, there's a lot of smoke. Let's look at this. Okay. So this is completely destroyed. Not very fire resistant. But we didn't expect that anyway. So this was the warm white LED strip. Now, I suspect that if we left it in the water for a longer amount of time, then it would eventually stop working. And that's when you would want to get the waterproof LED strip, which can withstand water for a longer amount of time. Now, I doubt that the waterproof LED strip will withstand fire any better, but it was a fun experiment. So the conclusion is, should you get these LED strips that cost $5 each from the Chinese websites? Well, my answer to that is, if you're prepared to do the main work yourself of wiring and connecting them and putting them on the wall, then sure, you could get them. They are very cheap, very functional, and they give a pretty good light. If you want to just be able to plug and play, you're better off visiting IKEA or some other store that sells plug and play LED strips that you can just put in your power socket and then directly put it on the wall, because this is a little bit more work. So that's it for the LED strip review, and I'll see you the next time.